The Firebase Cloud Firestore is a cloud-hosted database. It's known as a NoSQL database because it stores data as JSON, unlike traditional SQL databases. If you're new to Firestore, don't worry. I'll walk you through everything you need to know to use it in the forum. If you'd like more info, check out the official Quick Start Guide linked in the description below. Let's set up a Firestore database in our Firestore console. From the project overview page of the console, we can see this card for the Cloud Firestore. Let's choose that to get the Firestore database up and going. Now you can click Create Database and choose Start in Test Mode, as that will give us the most flexibility for now. Next, we're prompted to choose a location for our database to live. This is the literal geographic location of the servers that our database will live on. If you know a thing or two about the audience for your site, it's best to choose a location nearest your site visitors. The closer the server is in geographic space to a site visitor, the faster the server can respond. If you don't know this information yet about your audience, no worries. You can just choose the location nearest you, and then click Enable. Give it just a few seconds to set things up. And just like that, our database is good to go. The next step is to get our data into the Firestore database. So, how do we import the data? Well, I've provided a little node import script in the links below that we can run. The script takes advantage of an npm package called firestore export import that does much of the heavy lifting for us. It also does just a little reformatting of the data so that it gets into the Firestore with IDs intact. Our data stores all resources as an array like this. In order to make the IDs the actual document IDs in Firestore, and not just another document property, the Firestore export import package needs our resources instead to be an object. With the key being the record ID. Therefore, in the transform data for Firestore function, we loop over each collection of resources, transform it from an array into an object in a newly created variable called collections by ID, and then assign the record to the object with the key being the record ID. Go ahead and visit the link below and copy the code to your clipboard. Then, in the root level of the project, create a new file called firestore_import.js. After you've copied and pasted that, let's install the Firestore Export Import node module from npm. Next, over in the Firebase console, we need to generate a key for the Firebase service account. Navigate to the left sidebar and click on the Settings icon. Choose Users and Permissions. Navigate to the Service Accounts tab. Choose Node.js, which should be the default option. Click Generate New Private Key. In the pop-up, click Generate Key. A JSON file should have downloaded to your computer. Open it up and rename it to serviceaccount.json and move it to the root of the project. If you're version controlling your project in Git, make sure to add serviceaccount.json to the .getignore file. This is important as you don't want the sensitive information in this file to get into your repo. If you aren't using Git, don't worry about it. Now, all that's left to do is to run the import script. Run the following command in your terminal: node./firestoreimport.js. This might take just a second, so feel free to pause the video and come back when it's completed for you. Now, if we take a look at the database in the Firebase console, we should see our data. Great, there it is.